a strong start.
Oh, Miracle, please. Don't DC the coordinator. You might not be able to get back in.
Oh, that is concerning. We were, we were discussing before, once the game gets started, we're okay. It's made it back though. Didn't even need a pause.
Oh man, I missed all these battle pass lines.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little disconcerting for me. So, I might get thrown off just a little bit, but I'll adjust. I am not a chat wheel spammer.
See, I feel like the next Lacard Maratard meme is just going to be a lot simpler. It's going to be like the moos coming out, for example. The escalating moos, or the escalating orchestra hits, for example.
This was over before it started.
Right now, we've got... Well, I mean, we have a lovely little outpost trade going back and forth. But I want to see how they set up to fight. Which bounty rune are they going to prioritize? Are there going to be any fights? And so up top, Mind Control has Sandstorm first, is just going to fight with Blizzy over who can click faster.
Hold up, so Miracle's actually going mid. Huh. Something a little bit different.
Wondered why he was sitting in base. I mean, I guess just making trees and regenning mana, but aggressive.
Well, they're just like, you wanna change things up. You wanna try and take advantage of a Viper or someone else that might want to get a little bit closer. Well, Prophet's got a pretty good attack range.
And there is that aggressive tri-lane that you were saying might be a possibility. So we've got Kuro, GH, and then Weehaw in the off lane, really pressuring this monkey, trying to make him as miserable as possible.
Yeah, I mean, from the very beginning, he's going to be taking a lot of damage here. He's standing underneath the tower, so with the Chen there, with the Divine Favor and the headdress, he's always going to have a decent time. Not going to have to burn too much regen, but I think this game's going to be heavily dependent on how effective this top side goes.
And right now, Mind Control just forced to back off. The Queen of Pain harass, Blizzy doing a good job of pushing him back.
Dream's already getting dived. Like, this is your position 1 Monkey King, and he's going to go down.
It was a, nice little attempt at a dodge, but I don't think that was going to be quite enough. And look at this lovely spray on the ground.
That's a pretty high level one as well, that battle pass. Already pumped the dollars into it.
Yeah, you have to invest in the tilt, but they've got 3 heroes top for Gambit. It's interesting running their own aggressive tri-lane and just... are they going to rotate Monkey up top potentially? And they're just prepping for that?
Ooh, this ain't good.
Yeah, so they've...
Your chain going down.
They've moved Blizzy bottom, and they're moving Monkey King over to the offlane.
Sure, it's fine, but you always have that second mover advantage. You can structure the lane however you want because, they don't have a TP to then respond to it. Well, it's a lot of farm going Dream's way. You've got this double wave pushed underneath his tower. He should be able to get a bunch of CS. Solo experience as well, which is going to be really impactful for when Nigma do decide to take the aggression to them.
And in the mid lane, there is a rotation here from GH just to place a ward. He's probably, I assume, looking for a courier right now.
Not going to come for a little bit. GPK not having the worst time in mid. He's out CSing Miracle, which is pretty standard when you've got that static link leveled up.
And...
see here the rotations through from GH, not even having to use the TP, so trying to get a bit of a backstab happening here. Some harass onto X-Vampire especially.
And they are pinging it out, so X-Vampire saw GH rotating in. And he'll just be up here to keep giving Dream a hard time. I was like, oh, is something happening? No, he's just being sassy.
Yeah. Oh man, the spams.
OG must be so happy. They have unlocked you know, their final form. This is how they compete.
And this is the thing that you can do with Kuro, you know, he's running at this Chen, just doing a ton of damage to him, and there's not really too much that you can do, you know. With a Chen, you typically want to abuse the fact that you've got one of the longest attack ranges in the game as a support, but if you've got an Abaddon that has insane movement speed at level 1, there's not really too much that you can do. He's got a ton of sustain himself, so he's not in danger of dying, and then when he eventually does build up his boots of speed, what can you do?
This Bassi on Abaddon is especially frustrating just because that mana regen is so effective, the sustain that you were mentioning. Now, the headdress on Chen, you know, he heals up fairly quickly from the Abaddon harass.
He does, and standing underneath the tier 1 tower as well also helps, now giving that extra 1 HP regen. Are they going to be able to catch GH here on the top side? It's still 5 seconds until the Boundless, and doesn't look like Dream wants to contest.
But they do lose Chen down bottom again. So that's two? Yeah, that's 2 deaths on Chen here so far. So not having a great start to his game. And now it's time for the 5-minute bounties. Looks like, I think Nigma should get both of theirs. It doesn't look like there's going to be any fights over them though.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the advantages, right, of having this lane pushed up so aggressively. You get a pick off onto the support, he can't contest it at all, and then what's Blizzy going to do? Leave the lane and lose a whole wave of experience just to get 1 bounty rune? Probably not.
Yeah, and he has a full bottle, so he doesn't quite need the bounty regen at the moment. The way the spray goes up on the trees, this is a side note, is very odd looking.
That is true. I guess it makes it a bit more like real graffiti, right?
Fully engaged, and they are going on GH here, trying to get a body block from X-Vampire, and the stun out from Dream, and one more last hit. There is a first kill on the board for Gambit.
Alright, and it's definitely the hero that needed it. He's sitting at a not too bad spot in terms of the CS, but it's definitely Weeha that's taking control of that right now with those couple of early kills. And I'm a little surprised at how well, in terms of actual net worth, Miracle's doing. You know, like up against a Razor, there's not really too much that you can do early on. Already going for a gank here, Wrath of Nature.
And that was X-Vampire. He smoked up to ward and potentially do something middle, and Miracle just turned it around on him. Don't think he was prepared for that damage, and that's what you were talking about in the draft, is Gambit sometimes needs to watch how much they feed on that position 4.
Yeah, it's his first death, so it's kind of excusable, and he did the rotation through. Oh man, look at this. This is what we were talking about before. Miracle, he's just able to TP up to the top side, and Dream, he goes down. It's probably the one saving grace of their draft up until that point, or their play, rather, the early game.
Was that they hadn't lost
King.
him too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his second death after the first early dive. But he was slowly catching up. We'll have to see if they continue to put that much pressure on him.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hearing a Chen recall happening for GBK here, so maybe they're going to be trying to make something happen, but no, he dies before he's able to get it off.
I think he was hoping for a bailout there, the phone a friend. Blizzy is just really getting heavily pressured here, which, granted, as an offlaner, you are used to taking that trade. But I'm not sure if they're getting enough on Dream.
It's so hard to contest into a Viper as this, right? He's got the 1 point into the corrosive skin, and even that's enough to want to make you back off. And that's the thing with Kuroki as well. He's got that Bassi ring like you mentioned before, and you're just able to spam out these poison attacks, this Nether Toxin, in addition to, you know, he's already got the Sobi mask on, or Sage's mask rather, on on the Viper. So he's able to continue spamming.
And with the tread swapping, that adds such a massive amount of mana. I think a lot of people don't realize how powerful that can be, but it definitely enables his spamming if he makes use of it.
Here we go, Miracle TP down towards the bottom side. They're going to try and catch out Blizzy, but he's going to bail. He's got as much experience as he could in this lane.
And time to back off. That is, first tower on the board for Nigma, which I think we expected that they were going to be pretty active early, and you have a Nature's Prophet and an Abaddon.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, yeah, Kuro's on a bit of a warding mission. He's just placed this one down inside the Dire jungle. And really, now that this tier 1 tower's gone, you cannot move into your jungle at all. So I think Gambit needs to make a lot more aggressive plays, try and make stuff happen on the top side of the map, which, to his credit, YYY is doing on his Chen. He's still only level 3 though, so when these Bounty Rune and Outpost contests start to happen, which they'll need to, currently Gambit has nothing. It's going to be a bit rough for him.
Yeah, and Kuro is rotating in. I think it's going to be rough right now for Gambit. They catch up with Chen.
Taken out, which is pretty important.
And top lane,
Dream, though.
yeah, it looks like Dream's going to be in trouble.
Well, he might be okay. He's got the Jingu.
And the rotation in from Blizzy. Kuro has a shield here in 1 second and denied. Wow.
Styling on him.
Well,
now, see, Vampire, he's rotating towards mid, but there was 20 seconds left until these outposts are going to be claimed, and you're not really in too much danger of getting gone on if you try and take the Radiant one. Yes, it's a little scary, but you know, the Viper had just died. He's already TP'd top and showed that, and no Kuroki to contest either, so it just feels like they're playing in a position to not lose as opposed to try and win, if that makes sense.
they're really just holding on right now to try and get their levels up. When you have a Chen who's level 3.5 at 10 minutes, I'm not sure exactly what moves they can make for playing to win.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to rush that mech as much as he can. He's getting a few neutral items for his team, which is very important when Nigma are going to be turning up the tempo very shortly. Is this a completed blade mail coming out to Miracle? Yeah, it is. So it's going to be finalized by the 11-minute mark.
Nigma, they are ready to keep fighting and keep adding that pressure. And how Mind Control is about a little less than halfway to his Blink Dagger, taking a nice stack here, so they won't even have to delay too much longer for him. And what does Gambit have to have online in order to hold out against this Sand King Blink?
Mech on the Chen, I guess. And he's tried his best, but there's only so much that you can do. You know, it's good to have a turnaround echo, I suppose, as well for Vampire, but he's well away from picking up his blink, and I think Nigma are playing this perfectly. You know, you've got Miracle safely farming on the bottom side of the map, you've got complete vision, so you know where he's going to get contested, and Sand King, he's farming up this a little bit more dangerous farm because he's got that escape potential, but you've got the level 6 on the Abaddon, so he's not going to die if he gets gone on. GH has got the Arcane Boot, so he's fighting fit. And then, of course, Weeha, he's just a tanky frontlining Viper.
So you're saying that it's going to be hard for Gambit to sum that
yes.
up. Yeah, let's pop it over to net worth with Miracle sitting at the top of the charts. Now, Razor isn't doing too badly, but as you said, GPK does have he had a strong matchup in mid, and for the most part, mid was left alone. So they're gonna have to lean on him to really hold out in these fights, and the early drums does give him the ability to fight sooner, and you know, maybe they'll be able to turn something. This is dangerous here. I think Dream's in a lot of trouble. Now the ultimate does come out from Blizzy, taking out the Rubik. Dream has already fallen, and here comes Miracle. Well, yeah, Blizzy gets the TP, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, but that is a carry for a position 4.
I mean, it's the right type of rotation to make because you do need to cement some sort of map control for yourself. And sure, they're able to get a Rubik for it, but they're just not in the position to be able to take that just yet because of how dominant the laning stage went for Nigma. You know, if Chen, for example, had his level 6, had that Hand of God, had the mechanism, then, you know, Monkey King doesn't die that easily. You're able to get a lot more effectiveness out of the Wukong's command, and maybe you can turn it around, but just not the case.
And X-Vampire not even close to thinking about a Blink Dagger at this point, so they won't have the turn potential from him, or the initiation as of yet. And poor Blizzy, so, you know, Nature's Prophet came down to the bottom lane and just hit him twice, and he had to back off completely and bring out some regen, so he's continuing to have a rough time.
Yeah. You can just see him here. That's the thing you're able to do. He's pushed in the lane, had his creeps there, and now Miracle can just very easily help to continue this push forward. You've got Kuroki there, so everyone's going to be taking up a lot of damage, as well as the tower being taken down really quickly with this Curse of Avernus. Only the 1 point really needed to get a big benefit.
It's unfortunate the old passive was much more fun for pushing, but probably a little bit imbalanced when it would give everybody massive bonuses. Only about
And I'm liking the fact that he skilled the mass teleportation, right? So a lot of action happening on top side. He can TP if he wants to. Yeah, he's going for it again.
And that's so Chen is down for now. Yeah, GPK blacked out by all of these little treants. Should be able to run it away though. And the Viper ultimate out onto the Monkey King. Looks like Dream is going to fall once again. He turns to fight, but doesn't even get the full Jingu stacks up onto Kuro.
It's looking pretty rough, you gotta be honest. Looks like Mind Control's won the lottery. If the HUD is to be believed, he's got coins spilling out of his pockets.
I still don't fully understand what all of them are. There's a fire one, which I assume is kill streaks. There's a blue one. And now there's
blue
gold.
Kill streaks. Yeah.
Is that some kind of bounty reward? I don't know. Ugh, poor Blizzy. It's just getting bullied everywhere across the map. And that is a smoke from GH and Mind Control. So this Rubik and Sand King looking to see what they can make happen. The Blink Dagger is up on Mind Control, and I'm not sure if that's been revealed yet. They might be looking to take advantage of that power spike.
Yeah, I mean, I think they saw the blink once when they went for that follow-up kill onto, I want to say, the Viper in the mid lane after the body block, but only having 2 points at the time skilled into the Burrow Strike meant that he didn't quite have the range.
And this is a full Nigma gearing up to take this tier 2 tower. And I like the way that they're positioning. If anybody walks high ground, they're pretty much going to get caught. But they don't reveal that they're all there because they're just hanging out on this high ground by these ward spots.
Yeah, I mean, look at how aggressive the vision is. They've got 3 observer wards on this top side, basically saying, look, you're not going to be in any sort of position to be able to try and contest this. And Kuro, even as the position 5, he can just put himself right in the front. They're not worried about any team fights breaking out right now because they have complete vision.
If anything, they would prefer one breaking out because then they could take a tier 3.
Look at this. It's like 4 observer wards within a small little area. What can you really do?
Well, that's... And then, if Gambit goes for a fight there, I think Nigma win it and they can open up the base. So it's a pretty worthwhile vision investment.
Just had a smoke come through from X-Vampire. He tried to catch Blizzy in it as well, but he was in 2 minds about wanting... Oh, they might be able to catch Kuroki here, which would be okay, just to be able to get something back on the map. But of course, the rotation potential is always just such a concern.
And Chen finally has his mechanism, so YYY hasn't really been that involved other than dying a few times because he's been so focused on picking up this mechanism.
All right, well, Miracle has a 17-minute MKB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mechanism will help with that. Totally.
And this is the other benefit as well. You know, they've taken the top towers, so there's no way to TP up towards the top side. They don't have the outpost, and you've got a Prophet with insane amounts of right-click. He seems pretty keen to be able to try and contest this Roche. Maybe they're going for a pick-off first.
Which, right now, they are going to get a pick-off on that Chen once again. Doesn't even have a chance to get the mechanism off.
Actually, they're changing their minds. They're trying to go onto Dream, just missing with the Nature's Call there. Going to be able to get away. So, good place by Gambit. I mean, of course, Chen dying there isn't ideal, and you should know at this point that they've got insane amounts of vision just based around how they were taking these team fights, going aggressively for that tier 2. But, oh, Vampire, this is not what you need to be doing. He's going to TP away in time. But I think Dream, he needs to be playing this sort of aggressive style, right? You you can't be playing scared. You're behind right now. You need to try and do something risky to bring your team back into the game.
And he did. I mean, he got 3 TPs. Nigma does not go for the Roche yet, although they might be doing that here shortly with all of their vision. So he does delay that slightly. And Blizzy has the Necro book complete now with an Invis rune. And everyone has ultimates up. XS Vampire still not really much closer to the Blink Dagger than he was when we checked about 4 minutes ago. I think he's gotten about 300 gold.
And it's not like Nigma have to end the game right now, right? Like, you've got plenty of items that, oh, Vampire's gonna die.
That is ultimate from the Sand King and a Dead Earth Shaker. Didn't lose any gold though, so that's a bonus. And now Kuroki's ultimate has been popped. Dream wants to take him out. Chasing forward onto Kuro. Will support be here in time? It doesn't look like it, so that's a kill for Dream, but a stun from Mind Control. Weeha on the high ground. Can Dream make it out? He's TPing, and he dies in the fountain.
All that bonus damage, it's gonna get you. And wait, did they get?
Yeah, they also got GPK on the other side.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing, right? Sure, Kurog dies, but he baits out another couple of kills onto the cores, the real value targets. Nigma, they're only 200 gold away or so from picking up a Vlad's, which is just gonna expedite this this pushing potential. GH is close to his Blink Dagger, so really effective. And like we were talking about in the draft, that Heaven's Halberd is coming out very shortly for the Nature's Prophet as well.
Yeah, after his 17-minute MKB.
Yeah. Just, you know, just miracle things.
He did lose his courier, so he's courierless for a bit here. I think Blizzy sniped it out.
The value. Oh, they're going for this poor Chen again. He's finally popping his back. He's like, I don't want to die immediately anymore.
I can survive for 2 extra seconds now. GPK has the BKB now, but no Chen, no mech. There's gold raining down from Miracle too, so there's him and Sand King are little gold buddies. And I think Nigma, yeah, now they're gonna finally commit to this Roche. They have the Vlads onto Kuro.
Yeah, they've got everything they could possibly want. I mean, that's the thing as well, like, I was talking before about XS Vampire needing to not die so much, but it feels like he's playing way too passive right now. You've got halfway to your Blink Dagger. I don't think this top side's the area that you really need to be going because, you know, are you really going to be able to get a kill onto them while they're contesting Roshan? Probably not.
And the GPK going in, he has to pop that BKB, but Viper really doesn't care. GPK will fall, the stun out from Dream, not doing too much here. And Nigma is just fighting inside the Monkey King ult. It's a nice ult there from Blizzy. Blizzy does fall. So far, all of they've lost is the Abaddon. XS Vampire does get the TP out, and that is a 3 for 1.
Yeah. I mean, oh, they're even TPing aggressively on Miracle here to try and pick off YYY. That Monkey King bar is going to clean him up.
And that is the 4th one falling. Enigma should be able to crack the base right here. Yeah. And GG is called.
That's what I was thinking as well. Like, can you imagine, of course, the fight wasn't looking that great for them to begin with, but can you imagine if they had a Blink Echo to try and turn that around, you know? In such